Welcome to episode 36 of The Blade Job. We talked about stuff, didn't we, Scott? SuperSlam! So, John, are you more calm than Scott is?
I'm very calm.
That's fantastic. I thought this was a great episode.
Pretty calm. Fuck you guys.
We spent most of the time talking about SummerSlam, Fallout-ish, NXT TakeOver, and then we rambled on about wrestling video games for a while.
I don't play video games.
Yes, you do. You're going to go home and do that. You actually said, spoiler alert, at the end of the episode, that you were going to go play video games.
I think I'm going to go to GameStop
Don't ruin
and
the
buy Modern Warfare, like Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare.
Call it Duty 4.
Why?
That game was pretty dope.
Fantastic. Enjoy the episode. Follow us on social media. Stitcher, Google Play, iTunes. Listen to all of that fun shit. We have fun. We enjoy it. This is The Blade Job, episode 36. 5, 6, 6.
It's episode 36.
See what I did there?
Take up 6. Hey, it's episode 36, not 35 of the Blade Job Show.
35, 6.
That's kind of our intro.
Yeah, we never know what's going
It's
on.
our pre-intro
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, at The Blade Job Show.
at High Voltage 1987. I was trying to think of yours. I couldn't remember yours.
It's at Blade Job JRT.
That's what I thought it was.
It's the easiest one to remember.
It really is. Except for the one that's just their name, like yours.
Yeah, like, John _Olin. The underscore is really important.
It is.
Yeah, otherwise it's Joe Nolan.
Joe Nolan. Joe Nolan. Yes,
All
of
capital
course.
letters.
Sounds like a
I'm
football
screaming at
player.
you.
Joe Nolan. Anyways. SummerSlam was a thing.
It was. It was a good thing.
It was a good pay-per-view. It wasn't a good SummerSlam.
There wasn't enough pyro.
There never
They need to bring it back.
Yeah, like
Even
pyro,
even just
and,
a little bit. Like, not everybody
and
needs
Nitro, and the other guys who rolled around in hamster balls. I'm making an American Gladiator.
Oh, Malibu. Malibu was the best one.
Because that's,
Because he was
from
Matt
Malibu.
Riddle. He was just Matt Riddle.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all he was. Sup, bro? Just
Bruh.
drinking some beers,
Bruh.
hanging with some babes, bro.
Bro.
Yeah, he was absolutely just Matt Riddle from 1994.
I didn't hate SummerSlam.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I didn't hate the American Gladiators.
No, I didn't.
No, American Gladiators
No, they
fucking
had Q-tips
great.
and shit, and they would hit each other with them. It was
Yeah.
great.
The little guns that would shoot tennis balls.
I remember taking like gymnastics when I was little, and like, why don't we have the fighting sticks? Like, that's
the
the only
point?
reason I signed up for this.
What's the point?
Hold on, this isn't Children's American.
the only reason I told my mom yes?
Hey, trash can, get on the line with the network. Fucking Children's American Gladiators.
God damn it.
I mean, I'm sure they do it, right? Don't they play floor hockey with those giant Q-tips now anyways?
Just little kids beating the shit out of each
It'd be amazing.
Oh, man. I got 2 kids who'd be fucking great for that show.
They need to have vests that like light up so that you know when they get hit.
My son's head is too big. He'd fall over, but he would beat the shit out of kids. I love it. Kid's a fucking linebacker. Anyway.
SummerSlam.
SuperSlam.
Extreme Rules 2.
So I asked on Twitter that night, maybe it was the day after, I don't know, I said, was there any better matches than the worst match on TakeOver? And I didn't mean that as like, oh, fuck the WWE, NXT is better, which...
It is.
Inevitably, it goes
you know,
that way.
I say that on a weekly basis, but I didn't mean it that way. I meant like which matches do you think were the best? And a lot of people said AJ versus Joe.
It was good.
It was a very good match. It took for fucking ever to build.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was good. I'm not a huge Samoa Joe fan.
Samoan Joseph.
I'm not a huge fan of his. But I definitely get it. Like, he's very good at wrestling, you know. And AJ Styles is one of the best in the world. You know, it'd be weird to see them defend their main title in the main event.
At this point,
Like,
yeah.
You know, it's like
It's like, and it's not even a, oh, well, back in the day they did this, back in the day they did that. But it's like, if you had The Rock versus Austin for the WWF Championship, that was the fucking main event.
yeah, like 10 out of 10 fucking times.
Like, and it's, okay, so at least they closed with the Universal title. Like, at least.
Yeah, and
Right.
that match, I think
what
was
it was.
For a Universal title match in the last year and a half, I thought it was the best one.
It's still their way of telling you that they think this one is more important.
Yeah.
Care about these guys more.
Raw will
Right,
always be
so
the flagship show.
Give us a reason to care about them.
Right.
Like
Right.
seeing 2-minute squash matches, and the worst fucking part is these two dildos combined have like 4 moves. Like
I give him 6, but yeah.
you have the jerk off your hand punch, you have a half-ass spear, and a decent Samoan drop. And then the other guy has a German suplex and an F5.
And knees to the face.
Oh, that yeah.
You're forgetting about the quarter-mile drop kick.
Oh, yeah. It's fucking, I gotta build up all this speed, but I'm taking these corners, so I have to slow down. It's like, dude, you're not going that fast, man. You're running in fucking cargo pants.
And 9 times out of 10, the guy moves before you actually get to him.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
I'm going to just bump on the apron.
I see him coming from a quarter mile away.
Yeah. You're doing the Chuck Taylor thumbs up gif.
Yeah. Despite the
all your rage, you're still just a rat in a cage.
what's up, Billy Corgan?
Yo.
Big fan.
NWA.
That is such a fucking good album, Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, double album. I had the one. Remember, like, what was it? Their drummer died.
The fuck did I do?
Their drummer died, and their keyboardist like OD'd, or it might have been the other way around. Like, they both were doing a lot of drugs. One of them died. So depending on when you bought that album, the band artwork was like the full 5-piece band, or that guy, or Jimmy Chamberlain died, and then it was a 4-piece band, and then like
They took them out of it?
yeah. The one that I bought was before they kicked. I think it was the keyboardist who they kicked out. It was before they kicked him out.
Yeah.
So it was like Billy Corgan. There was like a dude with long black hair who played bass, I think, or guitar, and then that girl who played bass, and then it was the keyboard guy. But yeah, depending on when you bought it, you got a different
That's weird.
band portrait.
So it's SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, SummerSlam. Yeah. So despite the limitations of the move sets in that match, it was still pretty entertaining.
It's because it was short.
No, they're all fucking short. There hasn't been a long good match since KO was Universal Champion.
That's because Brock doesn't have the stamina for it anymore.
Correct. But I think it was a good match because of Braun Strowman coming out saying, I'm gonna challenge one of you dicks later. Fuck
I don't think
you."
that's what he said.
It was more or less that.
Yeah. The
He said it to their
Reader's
face,
Digest.
though. Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, and he was just like, I'm gonna wait till one of you dicks is champion, and then I'm gonna be champion. And then it was like, all right, that's pretty fucking cool. But then they made Braun Strowman look weak as shit.
Yeah.
But the fact that Brock threw the briefcase and then broke one of the LED panels
And didn't hit a kid. is
Yeah.
the most
and didn't,
important thing.
he didn't throw a car door into the crowd.
Yeah.
Like,
Or the TV
awesome.
that bounced out of the ring.
Like, great job, Brock.
What? Somebody threw something. It might have been at TakeOver. It might have been at SummerSlam. Somebody threw something into the crowd.
Yeah.
And it was just like, ooh. You probably shouldn't have done that. I think it was Ciampa threw something, and it like
He was throwing everything.
clearly went into the crowd, and it was just like, oh no.
Still not as bad as Brock throwing a car door.
Well, I mean, that's a fucking.
Do you remember when he threw the monitor?
No.
Yeah.
He threw it over his head, and it bounced out of the ring and hit the guy right at the corner of like where they come down the ramp.
Awesome.
That guy probably got a free T-shirt.
Probably, yeah.
Sweet.
Signed 8x10.
Brock Lesnar autograph probably got to be worth money because I doubt he signs autographs.
Oh, they didn't give a Brock Lesnar autograph. It was probably
Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, it was a Santino Morella or something.
I'd take a Santino
we found a
Morella
Santino autograph in the back if you want it. I mean,
I want
feel
that
free.
sexy Santina 8x10.
His not to get off track, but his theme song came on my playlist the other day, and I forgot about how good Santino's.
Oh my god,
entrance song
the
was.
opera singer.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
Santino in general was an extremely underrated performer.
Yeah, he was a good wrestler.
And he was an MMA fighter.
And he was a good comedy act, which WWE doesn't have a ton of good comedy acts.
Yeah, they've got Brock Lesnar.
They have plenty of comedy acts,
and Roman
but
Reigns.
Most of them are...
I was at that Raw where he won the U.S. title.
Yeah.
That's
which
awesome.
The best match I've ever seen was also that night. It was Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. It was like 25 minutes. It was phenomenal.
Yeah,
it was for like a Superstars or something.
Remember when Raw used to have like matches?
Yeah.
Remember when Raw had wrestling?
I've never seen a whole crowd get that excited like live before than when Santino won the U.S. title.
That's understandable.
Santino's fucking dope.
Yeah. So like I mean and the undercard too for SummerSlam. Like I look at SummerSlam and SummerSlam was a really good pay-per-view. It just wasn't a good SummerSlam. For your second biggest pay-per-view of the year, like I feel that there should be.
What else would they have done?
Well, okay, so
because I think it was a good SummerSlam. It wasn't the best one of all time, but
so let's use WrestleMania as kind of the blueprint for your biggest show of the year, and SummerSlam's supposed to be a close second, especially now that they're extending the time for it. They're making it a little more, like they're trying to put it on par with WrestleMania, just on a smaller scale.
I think it's their second. It's the majority of people's third. I think the Rumble still falls in between.
See, the Rumble's weird because it's like such a unique thing.
Yeah.
That it's like
it's a gimmick.
Like
right,
Survivor Series is fucking stupid, and
by no fault of its own.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I guess it could, like, if they still had factions,
yeah,
it can be great. Like,
especially during the brand split where it's just Raw versus SmackDown.
Right,
it's
nobody
like
cares.
Stupid.
It's like, oh, cool. Like, it's just fucking stupid. But in 97, I want to say, maybe 96, it was the Hart Foundation with Brian Pillman, because he was never actually in it.
Yeah.
It was like Steve Austin, Ahmed Johnson, Goldust, and the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, that is an established stable, and then their top guy is feuding with this top guy, and then it's like they have the tag team who's feuding with the other tag. Like,
yeah, like this year,
there's some filler in there. Like, Goldust doesn't really make sense, but fucking Goldust
it was
is great.
Attitude Era guys.
I'm just gonna use like all brands combined just for simplicity. Like in like what you're saying is this year it should be the Shield and the New Day versus say Undisputed Era and
AOP.
Yeah, AOP or something like where it's like you've got two huge babyface style factions. You've got all the heel faction, and then you got the heel tag team, and they're all just kind of smashing into each other in the ring. That's how Survivor Series should be. This whole Raw versus Smack, especially now that they have dual branded pay-per-views, it doesn't make sense anymore.
It never mattered, but
yeah, like at least if like number of years back with like John Laurinaitis and stuff like that, it was like at least they had like an actual feud between the two brands.
Yeah.
Now, like last year, it was just like Raw versus SmackDown.
Here's
they had SmackDown invade Raw a couple times or something like that.
One of our top guys
Yeah.
and a bunch of mid-carders against their top guy and a bunch of mid-carders. It's like, okay.
So no title defense, blah blah blah.
Neat.
Like I
Whatever.
was there the year that Roman eliminated like 5 out of 6 or something like that, or whatever it was.
Naturally.
And it was a good Survivor Series. That was the last Survivor Series I remembered actually really enjoying. Maybe it's rose-colored glasses because I was there.
Yeah.
But it was a solid Survivor Series. And after the show, this was when they were first teasing the initial merging of the titles. And it was Cena was one champion and Orton was the other. It was leading into their TLC match, I think, or something like that.
And Randy Orton pulled out his dick.
So yeah, no, he just shook it.
Okay.
And at the end, after the pay-per-view went off the air, like Triple H came out and was and like pushed Randy Orton aside and like went to get in the ring and fight Cena, but then Vince came out, and Vince hadn't been on television for like months, and he stopped Triple H, and then Vince starts taking off his jacket and he's gonna go fight him, and then Stephanie comes out, and it was hysterical. Like, it was a nice little closing segment. You know, I think that the anyways, moving on. Survivor Series should be better than it is lately.
SummerSlam, anyway.
SummerSlam was, like I said, it was SummerSlam this year is what I expect your B pay-per-views to be. Your backlashes and your you know, paybacks and shit like that.
It was on the way up.
No, it was definitely like, it was forward momentum for booking and for creative. Like, hey, yeah, okay, we've got actual stories in mind.
Yes,
some of it felt that way. I feel like some of it felt like this is what we want to do, and we're just using this platform to do it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit what you say. I don't like you, James Ryan Trainer.
Who?
Jert.
There you go.
Jert McGirt.
Fuck it up anymore.
The Revival.
Oh,
they do nothing for me.
See,
even as a WCW guy, I still don't like the Revival.
It's they're if they came out wearing black trunks, black knee pads, black boots, and like no designs on them, I'd be like, yeah, they are fucking white bread and water. Like, they are just the blandest of the bland. They don't excite me.
I don't see that at all.
What drives me nuts about them is that they act like we don't care that they're out there, which right now I don't. But like, get rid of the smug face and like show us why you're good. Don't act like you don't appreciate this the whole time.
Character development aside, as soon as they step in the ring, I see how good they are.
They're solid wrestlers. Like,
I'd give them above solid.
You know, they're a tag team who I would have my tag team champions beat.
Do you think they would do better as singles competitors?
No.
Really?
No. I think they are that Southern style tag team, and I think they're solid at it. But
that's clearly, for me, it's a character thing.
They have no fucking like depth.
Handlebar mustache is plenty of depth. Just throwing that out there. Anyways,
listen, I don't think it's that much depth, and it's not just because I can't grow one.
You cannot. This is true.
It like right there. Right,
I could pull off a handlebar.
I mean, you could. Yeah. Actually, all three of you. Fuck you guys.
Trash cans don't have.
Yeah, we have a trash can who has a full beard.
This took me over a year.
So like, I mean, SummerSlam was fun. I thought it was a bit odd to have.
Oh, and John has a full head of hair. God damn it! That used to be like my one thing going was I had like an actual.
I used to have hair below my shoulders. Freaking loved it. I wanted to come back.
But hey, focusing for a second, I thought Kevin Owens getting squashed was a bit of an odd choice. I get it. I mean, it seems like they're doing. John and I were talking about it earlier. You and I were talking about it earlier. All three of us. I don't know. I'm fucking kidding.
I got here early, motherfucker.
You did. I was very proud of you.
So it might have been.
They're doing like a reverse Daniel Bryan with KO. They're beating him down over and over and over again. So when he finally does get a Universal title match, it's going to be this like he fought his way back to the top.
Yes.
And that's KO's. That's been KO's gimmick since he was Kevin Steen. He's the prize fighter. He's all about the fight.
Yep.
He's all about the dirty tactics. I don't think, like, even watching like old Ring of Honor and old indie stuff with KO, KS, I don't think he's ever been a true face, ever.
No, he's too sarcastic.
He's just over as an anti-hero.
He's the perfect heel.
Yeah.
And I love Kevin Owens left and right.
His banter, like if you listen to him talk during a match. I absolutely love him. Survivor Series a couple years ago, they were on Raw or Smack. They were on Raw, and AJ was on SmackDown, and he's like, "Nice fucking hair, soccer mom," and I loved it. Like
the video that was going around of him having Roman in the headlock, where he's telling the guy how he makes more money than him, and Roman's trying so hard not to laugh.
Yeah, he's a right, and you can tell he's like a genuinely nice guy too.
Yeah,
but
at the same time, I think he's also a genuine asshole.
Yeah,
He's just a smart ass.
I listened to the Edge and Christian podcast, and he was on it with Sami Zayn, and they were talking about how when people run into him, if they're like, "Hey, are you Kevin Owens?" he'll go, "Some of the time," and then if they don't like confirm that it is or ask for anything, he'll just walk away. He's like, "If you're not going to talk to me, or you're not going to like say that you know who I am."
I watched a shoot with him talking about his time in CZW, and he was talking. He was, I guess, he had just got signed for like 6 months at Dragon's Gate, I think, and he's telling the story about how he had to drop the CZW title, and it was like a 4-person like cage of death match, or 5-person cage of death match. And he's like, so one of the guys is talking about the match. He's like, oh, do this and this and this. And Owens realizes that he's not talking about the same. He's talking about his singles match, not the multi-man match that they're trying to talk about. And Kevin Owens keeps trying to get them to talk about what's the finish, what are we doing, who's taking the title. Like, we don't even know who's winning the title. I have to drop it because I'm going to Dragon's Gate for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be here. And they're like, fuck it, just put it on Generico. And Zayn's like, no, I'm going to Dragon's Gate with him. Like, and they're like, well, I don't fucking care. Like, whoever. We'll put the title on someone. And Owen says he looks around. He sees Lufisto walking by, and he goes, fuck it. Let's put the title on Lufisto. And it wasn't the CZW championship. It was the Iron Man championship. And the guy's like, but she's a woman. He's like, yeah, it's great. No one will see it coming. So they just randomly pull Lufisto into this match that she's not on, and she wins the CZW Iron Man championship.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Anyways.
Him and Keith Lee is going to be a promo within a match.
Oh, yeah.
The two of them talk so much.
Yeah.
Keith Lee will only be in NXT, I'd say, for like a year. Like, if that.
Yeah.
He'll be main roster. He might be, honestly, based on the money that they're probably making just for merchandising, I think Keith Lee might make the main roster before Adam Cole does.
He'll be at the Rumble.
Baby. Oh, yeah.
He'll
almost
be a Rumble
guaranteed.
entrant.
I think Cole will, too, though. I don't think it'll be...
He was last year, too, right?
Yeah. He won't be main roster bound, but he'll definitely be in the Rumble again.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kevin Owens bumps lately. Like, so he took the ladder bump through the tables at Money in the Bank. He took the bump off the top of the cage to the announce table at Extreme Rules. And neither of those really compare to the fact that Braun Strowman lifted him a solid 7 feet in the air and flat back choke slammed him onto the diamond plate.
Yeah.
That hurt me. Just thinking about it. Hurt.
Diamond plate, I don't know. I don't know how thick that is, but I can't imagine it's like a quarter
inch. Well, it's probably got wood and plexiglass underneath it.
It's got to be half inch, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, the most painful spot of all is Shania Twain not playing his song after he fell off the ladder.
It's true. He even spoke to her in Quebecois.
Yeah.
That's probably...
She still wouldn't play it.
Quinceañera.
That's Spanish, but
it
close.
Is, but I said it right, so fuck off. Anyways, SummerSlam, it was fun. I didn't like it.
I don't like Lana wrestling.
Oh, God, no. She's bad.
But
she's just as bad as Rusev.
But I like how she doesn't wrestle a lot.
Yeah.
Like, she's not out there every week. It's like, yes, she's hot and she's pretty good on the mic, and she's not Russian anymore.
No, her
comes and goes.
Like I said, her accent is with Dean Ambrose's hairline.
Yeah.
And Kofi Kingston's Jamaican accent.
Yeah.
No, Kofi's Jamaican.
It's all in that
accent
WWE warehouse where they keep the cells and shit.
Yeah, it's just in a jar.
But you open it up and it's just Rasha.
Lana is the best.
But it's like Rusev is exactly how I feel about the Revival. He's fine. He's good. He can.
I don't even see that though.
He can wrestle a match. He can
kind of.
He can go out there and
crush Machka.
He can Machka.
I love
with
Rusev.
the best of them.
Boo.
But Rusev. I don't see the huge appeal.
I almost wore my Happy Rusev Day shirt today just to troll you a little bit.
I almost vomited just you saying that. Anyways, it was a good pay-per-view. It was fine. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Finn Balor beating the shit out of Baron Corbin.
Yes, squash match, Return of the Demon. That was fun.
Yep.
My match of the night, Miz and Daniel Bryan.
That was a good
match.
That was a good match. It was good storytelling.
That finish was so well done.
It was awesome.
So well done.
Because I didn't see Maurice hand that to Daniel Bryan.
No, because she was playing with his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I saw that.
I saw it in the replay.
Yeah.
I saw it in the regular play. Fuckers.
Brass knucks.
Which now I'm convinced, and I hope this is actually what happens. I'm convinced that Miz is going to win the title, and Daniel Bryan will beat him for it at Mania.
I'd be okay with that.
I think you have Miz win it, you have Bryan win the Rumble, and then you have that be your...
I think we need to opposite that this time. I think D-Bry winning the championship at WrestleMania... the story was done, obviously. I think D-Bry should be defending the title at WrestleMania against The Miz. Miz wins the Rumble.
I'd be okay with either of that. I like The Miz, and I think he's the best upper mid-carder that they have.
Mm-hmm.
He's consistent.
And I think a short main title run would be okay.
He is on that... to go to sports for a minute, you got Tom Brady and you have Peyton Manning. They're the elites, right?
Yeah.
They're your main event. On that line is what? Eli for a little bit?
Eli, yeah.
Roethlisberger, like he's that. Mm. He could be a main eventer if he's healthy.
Roethlisberger
but he's also
always
an
had
upper
a good
mid
defense.
Yeah, but a shitty ankle.
I only know who that is from Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Oh, God.
Hug it, football! I love that movie.
That is a good
great.
movie.
Anyways, moving on. You didn't work there. Fuck you.
Best Buy?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm sorry, we can't say. Retail electronics store with a blue.
The blue one, Leechmere.
Leechmere.
Circuit City.
Circuit City. I worked there too.
The same one.
Same building. I grand opened that Circuit City. Anyways,
yeah.
It was like 18.
Yeah. Circuit City.
But that match as a whole for Miz and Bryan was so solid.
It was good.
And the finish made sense. And then the promo afterwards made sense.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good storytelling, and you can tell that SmackDown's writers, allegedly Paul Heyman, are doing a good job.
Yeah, and that's Daniel Bryan still hasn't beaten Miz, right? Since he came up?
No, he has. His first victory in WWE
that's
was
right.
against
That's
the
right.
Miz.
I apologize.
Anyways, SummerSlam, it was good. It was a solid C+, maybe a B.
I don't see how they could have made it better.
How they could have made it better? No, absolutely not.
Right.
How it could have been better? Absolutely. There's a million different ways they could have made that better. But
Brock Lesnar could have
Pork Lobster.
I think if you had brought someone up, maybe.
No. I think
they bring too many people
the roster
up.
is too oversaturated right now.
Yeah.
Bringing people up from NXT just be like, and especially because it's since Kevin Owens, it's been way too, it's like, oh, hey, Bobby Roode lost the title. Oh, hey, Bobby Roode's on SmackDown. Like, it's like, all right. What
when a guy generally loses the title, he's getting called up.
But that's not, I think that's getting a little.
And I don't think it should be that way. Like, when Nakamura and Samoa Joe had their thing, and they were like, oh, he's a first, second, two-time NXT champion. It's like, how? Why? Yeah. When Aleister Black comes back and he challenges for the title, I don't want him to go to the main roster right now.
No, God, no.
I don't want Dream to go to the main event until you can put him with Miz. Until this Daniel Bryan story is over.
As good as Velveteen Dream is, he is not main roster ready at all.
No, and I think that's why you wait, because I think Miz is the perfect opposite of him, yet being exactly the same.
Yeah.
You can put them together and have them be who's the real A-lister, who's really going to outshine.
Do not call up Dream. That is the worst idea.
If they pull him up now, here's what's going to happen. They're going to put him with Dolph Ziggler, and it's going to be just similar enough a gimmick where it's going to be exactly what happened with Bobby Roode, and you're going to lose him.
Yep.
The whole gimmick's not going to matter anymore.
He's going to be on Superstars in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. Anyway.
And that sucks because he'd be a good North American champion. I think he's a good upper mid-card guy.
That was a fantastic segue.
And he's still teasing with Ricochet. He came out with Ricochet's crown on.
So the night before we had TakeOver, and TakeOver, no surprise, was a very good wrestling show.
Yeah. Five long, good matches.
Yeah. Done by, 10:15, 10:30?
Yep.
In bed by 11. Perfect. I'm tired.
I went to bed at 9 last night. It was dope.
130.
Best match of the night, I think most people can agree, was Cole and Ricochet.
Yeah.
That match was a thing of beauty.
Yes.
Every spot was well planned out. Every spot was well performed.
I watched most of it last night.
It was just
and I like it.
awesome.
That was the match of the weekend.
Yeah.
Ciampa Gargano was as good as, their matches usually are. That was my least favorite match in their series, and it was still better than most matches anyone's had.
Yeah.
The botched finish was, I think, took away from it a little bit, but it was still an emotional match. It was still, it had really great spots. It had really great,
bodies being thrown.
Yeah, like trying
by people not involved in the match.
It was just fun.
That poor guy.
Dream and
EC3.
It was good. I liked it. I didn't love it.
There was nothing wrong with it.
It just, it was good.
EC3
Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane, I thought they did a fantastic job, and I'm not a Shayna Baszler fan.
I like how they made Kairi Sane look. Like, it's not that they made Shayna Baszler look weak or Kairi Sane look like ridiculously strong.
They made her look technical. They made her look like she understood what the fact that she won by being put into Baszler's finisher and then like flipping over. Like that showed like ring prowess.
I think Shayna Baszler brings nothing to the table.
No,
absolutely nothing.
She's Ronda Rousey without the fame or the personality.
Right. She's there because she's Ronda's friend.
Yeah. Like, even though she was there first.
If she wasn't Ronda Rousey's friend.
Yeah, because she got. I'm not saying that Shayna Baszler was a bad MMA fighter. She was fine as an MMA fighter, but she probably would not be as famous as she is if she didn't roll in the UFC with Ronda Rousey.
Correct. If she was just any UFC fighter, she would
completely glossed over. Ronda Rousey as women's champion does not sit well with me. She's not ready. The match was fine for her. She is. You got to understand. She's a chick who walked into wrestling school 3 or 4 months ago. This is not like she is doing extremely well for the limited training that she has.
Yes, but you squashed your 5-time women's champion, and the only reason the match went that long was because Ronda was toying with her, and now you have them in a Hell in a Cell match, and who gives a shit? You already wrecked her.
Right.
It's so
Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus. Though
someone's coming out. I think the only way that works is if
Nia Jax comes to save her.
Jax or Shayna.
Yeah,
you can't have them be together. No one likes Shayna.
Either way, she's not ready, and I'm not a Ronda Rousey detractor. She is going to be very good. She really is. She's picking up very quickly because she has such an extensive background in judo, and judo and wrestling are very similar. Just one's competitive,
grabbing and throwing, and
one's scripted. You know, but other than that, the basis is the same. It's bumps, it's throws, it's strikes.
Yep.
Granted, traditionally in judo, there's not a lot of striking, but it is what it is.
Right. It's close enough.
She's going to be great. She should not be women's champion right now.
My one issue with that match, and I have this with every time they do this, is you had Kairi do her finisher, the elbow, to Shayna, 5 times?
Yeah.
You need to get her in positions where she's going to use that as a dominant finisher again.
Yeah.
Because
it is a dominant finisher.
If you don't do that, you're running the risk of her just getting lucky. You're not a real champion. You just beat someone and did your finisher 15 times.
She did it to the outside.
That was nuts.
And that was, A, that was nuts. And B, doing your finisher on the outside, I don't mind them kicking out of, because then you gotta get them in the ring and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And that's fine. But you shouldn't be doing your jerking off my arm here, I'm fucking charging this shit up, and then punching somebody and then they kick out. It's like, oh my god. It's like, no, I've seen fucking everybody kick out of that.
Right.
That's not a finisher. That's a fucking...
It's not even a signature. It's a punch. Yeah. It's a punch that you jumped 6 inches for.
Yeah, and it like doesn't. When I see a finisher, I want to be like, fuck, there's no way they're getting up from that. Like, I want in my mind,
like the F5, the pedigree, like even the rock bottom, like, you know, the stunner.
Like if somebody gets hit with a stunner, you know in your mind there's no fucking way they're kicking out of that.
Right.
Like, you know, short of The Rock or Triple H, like, nobody's fucking kicking out of that. There's no way in hell. And
no
then
chance.
There's no chance.
Booker T's Houston Hangover.
I honestly don't know how you would kick out of that, but
The only way Triple H kicked out was because Ric Flair moved his leg.
correct.
Yep.
Like,
Woo!
protecting finishers, because that is your move to finish your opponent. Like there's a reason why you don't see, other than jerking off your arm, like, people don't just do that in like the first 10 seconds of a match.
Right.
Like, you know, everybody does a super kick, but when Shawn Michaels does a Sweet Chin Music, you're fucking done.
Right.
You know, like, it's
Too many. If you're gonna have a match with someone kicking out of finishers,
it better be an epic fucking
It better be
battle.
your main event. It better be a long, built-up feud.
Yeah.
For a championship.
Right.
You know, preferably one of the main championships.
Yeah.
And it still should only happen maybe 2 or 3 times a year.
Correct.
You know, like, I'm sorry, but, you know, if it's the main event of Backlash, if Styles hits the Styles Clash, the match is over. Like, it should.
Yeah.
It should be like, too many people just kick out of finishers nowadays.
willy-nilly.
That finishers don't feel special anymore.
Yep.
You know, they may look cool, but
It felt like when you're playing 2K18 and you start the match with 3 finishers. When you increase
or the old SmackDowns where you could start with Infinite and you could just
Yeah.
pedigree.
I'm just gonna Stone Cold stun the fuck out of you. Razor Ramon would not do a Razor's Edge if he was going to lose the match. Yeah. Nobody ever kicked out of the Razor's Edge, which is exactly what you should do.
And cut to Sheamus, and now everyone's kicking out of that.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a Celtic Cross.
Yeah.
Fucking totally different.
Totally different.
One's about cocaine, one's about Jesus, I guess. I don't know.
Something like that. Leprechauns, I think.
Leprechauns.
Yeah,
Leprechaun
rainbows.
Jesus.
Lucky Charms.
So that actually
Hey, can that be the name of this episode?
Leprechaun Jesus?
Leprechaun
Probably not.
Jesus.
Nah, we should probably not do that one.
That's probably not a good idea.
Anyways, Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
That was also a good segue. You guys are full of good segues today.
Yeah, Hail Satan.
So I've been playing a lot of WWE 2K18 lately.
That's because you ain't got no kids.
It's true.
And a lot of free time and
Not really.
extra money.
Nope.
I taught the 4-year-old how to play 2K.
So
My daughter likes to play 17 and just do Royal Rumbles with Enzo. Like, that's it.
that's what she does.
That is
my nightmare.
all she fucking
does
does.
she know
That's my
about
nightmare.
Enzo? Is she aware of Enzo? Just throwing that out there.
She knows he's no longer with the
does
company.
she when she starts the game, does she scream gripping my consensual penis?
No,
I'm glad
She
you
should.
made that joke.
she does not.
Anyways, so I was playing 2K18
And Enzo did nothing wrong, by the way.
he grabbed his
we're not getting
consensual
into that.
penis.
Well, he grabbed his consensual.
Just like Randy Orton.
But it was consensual. Randy Orton's wasn't.
Anyways,
I've heard things that wasn't true.
What,
I'm
Randy
sure.
Orton's
Yeah,
dick
from writers.
handshaking? I don't know. It's
So-
Randy Orton being a dick.
Yeah.
Either way.
like I feel like with wrestling games in particular these days, the only people who are buying those are wrestling fans. I feel like there's too much. It's not like back in the day. It's not like with No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000,
Fucking love No Mercy.
WCW Revenge, where like they were kind of they
They were cultural pieces.
they transcended beyond just professional wrestling fans into just fun party games. Like, people enjoyed playing them. Fighting game fans played them. Mario Party fans played them because it was something where you get all your friends together and just play.
I worked a week in Baltimore and I brought my N64 and I brought No Mercy and we would do a 4-man tournament every fucking night.
Yeah.
It's the best.
No, it was great time. You know,
Cactus Jack won every fucking time.
Even like just like chilling with your friends, you know, back in the day, like 98, 99, whatever, and just creating characters or
What up, Sean Snow's house?
you know, finish or like adjusting, you know, the existing roster because, you know, they wear different gear now or they have a different gimmick now and, you know, just kind of changing all that up. always fun. Obviously, with the modern stuff, the create a wrestler has gone far beyond anything we could have imagined.
I love it so much
back then.
I love downloading other people's.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Like,
you don't even have to think anymore. Like I remember used to go online and it'd be like, "Oh, you want to make Cactus Jack? Here's a 5-page list of here's the face, here's the hair. Just set it to these presets and boom, you've got a Cactus Jack."
Trying to get the number.
Yeah.
I would do Macho Man within the first half hour of me getting the game every single time.
So, like, and now obviously we have these huge rosters. We have all these legends, and we have, you know, if someone returns before the game comes out, they make them as DLC, and it's just there's so much going on. And at the same time, it's a little different for us that we usually don't like kind of go this off of like what's happening with pro wrestling. But I feel like what's up with that? I feel like last year with WWE 2K18, they took a step back. They removed 2 years in a row. There was no showcase mode. There was no Road to WrestleMania. There was no like story mode.
Showcase mode's fine.
That's
the one where you're like, I'm the fucking Fabulous Freebirds, and we're in the West Texas Coliseum on June 10th, 1982, right? And then you do that match.
Yeah,
and
it follows the story of someone.
It follows like
those are all right.
They did the Stone Cold one. A couple years back. They did Attitude Era a number of years ago. Yeah. Like and those, like, to me it's like you've got universe mode, you've got your career mode, and you can play those and you can have fun with them, but at the same time it's just like after a while it gets kind of repetitive. Like I was playing universe mode today and the main event was Brock Lesnar versus Noam Dar. Like, doesn't even make sense. It's just
nope. Because why is Brock Lesnar on Raw?
Exactly. I mean, I did remove.
Why is Brock Lesnar wrestling on Raw?
I removed SmackDown completely, and Tuesday is Tuesday Nitro.
Nice.
Because fuck SmackDown, and I removed pretty much the entire roster and just put in guys who were in WCW plus like Kevin Owens and AJ Styles.
I loved the Undertaker version that they had when you could do the streak and it was just continuous. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
that mode was awesome.
You had beat the streak and then
like every 10 guys, your
like
health
that
would recoup.
They're doing, and that kind of leads me to, 2K19 is coming out in October, and they're doing first they're returning with Showcase, and they're doing the return of Daniel Bryan, and you'll play through Daniel Bryan's career, which sounds awesome.
Yes.
You start with Bryan Danielson versus John Cena on Velocity. Pretty much. Slap nuts. We did both there. And then you play through all the way through his return when he tagged with Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. Awesome. Fantastic. They're also adding in, speaking of the streak mode, they're adding in towers. Yep. And it's essentially like a gauntlet mode.
Something we've had in fighting games for 20 years.
Yeah, you essentially, it's like Mortal Kombat. You start at the bottom of the tower and you fight your way up.
Yeah.
And
that's
one
like
of them
30 years, dude.
Yeah. One of them is AJ Styles' $1 million tower, where if you beat it, you can submit it and you cut a promo and send it in, and you have a chance to play AJ Styles in 2K19 and win $1 million. I'm not going to even bother because apparently it's going to be, hey, it's Big John. Tell him what's up. He'll know what it means.
He will. I'll call him back.
Yeah, I did that. Who cares?
That's okay. We can cut that out.
Yeah, just edit.
You're just giving Trash Can more work.
Pretty much.
Good job, Dick.
So we also have Fire Pro Wrestling World coming out, which has officially licensed New Japan Pro Wrestling in it.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Yeah. I think that's really cool because obviously nowadays you either get a WWE game or you get like a shitty half-assed game based on a small promotion. Like I think like
Justin Lightning Tiger.
Yeah. Yeah, so like the Fire Pro games have always been really good, but this is the first one that's really had like actual wrestlers in it, like
Kenny Omega.
The style is so cool too.
Yeah, that 2D fucking just like it's like a simulation fighting game.
It looks like Royal Rumble for Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Yeah. That's what
I might play that when I get home. Fuck you guys. I'll be in my basement.
And that led me to think like, why hasn't, New Japan's gotta make money. I mean, they're the biggest promotion in Japan. They're probably the second biggest promotion in the world. And they also are from the country where video games are born. Like, how have we not seen an official, like a real. And I know there have been like I think there was a New Japan game like on SNES or something like that. But how do we not have a PS4, Xbox One, New Japan Pro Wrestling game developed by AKI?
I think it's the Bullet Club. I think you have the Bullet Club to thank for it.
No, we can't like them.
How Americanized New Japan has become, and how popular they have become over here.
And Chuck Taylor's going back to New Japan.
Yeah, that they have the economical stability now.
Yeah.
To handle something like that.
Yep, absolutely. I'm trying to pull up the trailer. I'm gonna shut my phone off. Royal Rumble is so good. When you knock the ref over.
Yep. That and was it WrestleMania Arcade? When Doink the Clown with the stun handshake.
Yep. Yeah, and like if you knocked over Shawn Michaels, like broken hearts would fall out. Like Razor Ramon, Coke razors.
Literally, Undertaker would hit someone with a tombstone.
Yep. That was a good game. I remember playing that at Service Merchandise.
Yokozuna. Doink the Clown. The commentary on that was so good.
Yeah, it's weird to me because like obviously in like the late 90s, mid to late 90s, we had, you had a WCW game come out, you had a WWF game come out,
No Mercy,
and then obviously you had ECW games coming out, and then when Vince bought everything, we've really only had, at least in the States, WWE games. We had
since 2K.
We had the AAA Lucha game, which I never played, but I heard it was pretty fun. I've been meaning to pick up a copy of it.
They had a backyard wrestling game.
2 of them. There was 2 of those.
I never played those.
They also have, I think they did 1 year. Black College Football was an actual game. Crazy. Didn't buy it. I thought about it, and then I was like, no.
Was it like Blitz?
Nope, it was like a college football game, but it was only black colleges, and you had to do the drum line and the fucking halftime show and shit.
That's pretty funny.
It's like, I'm not sure if this is like a super racist game or if it's like an
where
actual
did that
thing.
Come out of?
The South.
The South.
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon.
He just did it himself.
Produced by Nick Cannon.
That's pretty funny. But yeah, like
Tyler Perry.
So we've had, pretty much just WWEs. We had an Impact game that wasn't.
Was there?
It wasn't terrible. It was actually where Suicide came from. Suicide was initially the main character of the story mode, and then he became a character on television. I believe at first played by Christopher Daniels, and then eventually T.J. Perkins played Suicide. Because it's easy when you wear a fucking bodysuit to just put whoever.
I wish T.J. Perkins
didn't suck. I hate him.
I'm trying to think.
Kota Ibushi should have won.
Well, Kota Ibushi wouldn't have signed a contract.
Yeah.
Because he's loaded.
With yen. I mean, come on. Yen, it's like, I've got 40 billion yen. It's like, dude, you've got like $30. Come on.
Yeah, that was a whole plot to Slam and Salmon.
That was a great movie.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Fuck you. That movie was awesome.
That's the kind of movie like...
Whatever, motherfucker.
All right. It is 10:30 on a Saturday. I bet you in an hour to 2 hours, if you put it on Comedy Central, that movie will be playing. It's a Saturday early afternoon, just shitty movie. That's always on there. Idiocracy's always on. And Idiocracy was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
There's always those, like...
It's got what plants crave.
Like, they're funny movies, but they're not, like... It's not Super Troopers. It's not fucking Wedding Crashers.
Club Dread.
Club Dread.
I love Club Dread.
Club Dread was awesome.
Club Dread was fan-fucking-tastic. Most people haven't seen it.
Have you ever seen Puddle Cruiser?
Is that the rugby one?
No.
When they're in college?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rugby movie. I have never seen it.
I don't really. It's not really a rugby movie, so don't get excited about rugby movies.
I don't think I've ever even heard it.
It's their like indie film that made Super Troopers happen.
Oh.
It's like old school.
Did you know that Reno 911 was originally supposed to be Super Troopers? They had offered it to them and they turned it down, and then they just went to the people that did the state.
That's pretty funny.
Super Troopers and Reno 911 was pretty fucking good.
It was amazing.
Also.
Dude, fucking Reno 911 movie, tying it back into wrestling when The Rock fucking has a grenade. And he, like, kicks it into the thing.
I forgot he was in that.
For like 2 fucking seconds. He's like, I'm the special forces fucking, I'm the Rock and blah, blah, blah. And he just like trips holding the grenade.
Oh, The Rock.
And speaking of
He's
Reno,
such a fucking good actor.
Rocco's Modern Life is coming back.
Yeah?
And Garcia from Reno is the voice of Rocco.
I like
It's
it.
true. These are all things that are true.
Philbit. Hiffa.
Turn the page, you wash your hands.
hands.
Turn the page, you wash your hands. The fuck. Anyways,
That show is fucked.
Have you watched it now?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the opening episode is them going to a theme park and there's just a gate to hell with demons in it.
yeah,
Yep.
that's how life is. You just need to accept it.
Rocco's Modern Life.
It's what happens when you come from Australia here.
And the B-52s did the theme song.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I think it's a TV movie is what they're
It
doing
is.
or something.
It's like a 45-minute movie.
I'll take that.
Oh yeah, I will too. Anyways, getting back.
Wrestling video games.
So the fact that we're getting a video game that has Kenny Omega as Kota Ibushi in it, it's got
yeah, so does 2K17 at my house.
yeah, it's got LIJ. It's got, but these are licensed. These are not character. These are not like created by the users. These are licensed.
I don't know. The guy who made the Flip Gordon on my 2K17 did a
you have
great
Flip Gordon
job.
on 2K17?
Yeah,
Does he never get booked on matches?
he wrestled Dijak and got his ass beat.
I'm so glad he's not at all in.
Dominic Dijakovic?
No, he is it all in, isn't he? Isn't he reffing the?
He's all out.
No, he's doing a pre-show and
Yeah.
then he's hosting a live viewing of it somewhere else.
That's
it's a work.
crazy.
It's a
yeah,
work.
I don't know.
Yeah,
He's
but
on your fucking TV
They're charging
show.
money for the for the like watching party.
So he's just there to make them more money.
Yeah.
Good for you, Flip.
Okay.
Mr. Gordon. Mr. Flippy Flip.
Flippity flop, flap.
I don't know. Like what I would really like someone to do. Obviously, the licensing might be difficult.
2 chicks at the same time.
Well, yeah, obviously, that's what I'd do if I had $1 million. It would be great if someone made like a super indie video game. Like if someone could get like all these top indie stars, so you'd have like Joey Janela and David Starr, Cody, the Bucks, Flip Gordon.
I think it's difficult to do for payment wise. I saw something the other day about how the first UFC game, none of those guys got any pay for that.
Well, EA's known for their contracts. So, like, it was the same issue with NCAA.
Yeah.
They were using...
Quarterback number 2.
Well, no, they were using actual college players who signed the agreement saying, yes, you may use my likeness. But that agreement, in the deep, dark parts of it, said, you're a college student. We don't have to pay you shit.
Right.
You know, we're by us putting you in NCAA, you have a better chance of getting in the NFL. That's pretty much what they were saying.
Yeah. It's an internship.
I love how South Park did that thing with the crack baby fighting league.
Yeah.
And
I don't think I've seen that.
oh, dude, Cartman went to the University of Colorado and was like, hey, I need some of your slaves. And the guy's like, what? He's like, you know, the kids you don't pay to play football. He's like, those slaves. He's like, you make them do all this work and they make all your college all sorts of money, but you don't pay them? Those slaves. And it was just like, oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
But it's
it's
fucking
accurate.
But at the same time, you know, like WWE, like 2K, like even though like say John Cena's under contract with WWE.
Yep.
2K still needs to get John Cena's permission to put him in that game.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why
It's completely separate from. It doesn't matter if you work for WWE or not. I mean, obviously, I doubt many people are going to be like, nah, I'm good, thanks. You know, and WWE, I'm sure, is going to be like, well, if you don't sign your name, we're going to drop you to the fucking, you know, superstars in main event because you're not useful anymore.
Bill Belichick has never been in the game.
And
It's always New England coach. Jordan took forever.
until he got his own special edition.
Took forever.
Which was fantastic. That showcase was so good.
I don't understand the rules of basketball, and I do terribly at those games.
Oh, it's my favorite sport.
You
But
got to
they
put
did
the
it-
ball in the...
Well, no, I get that, but then they're like, oh, traveling, but then guys like, they're like, oh, I'm at the halfway line. I'm going to make a sick dunk, and they just run all the way to the basket and dunk, and they're
You're
just
technically
like,
not supposed to move your pivot foot. Yeah.
hey, like, that was awesome. Like, I don't know.
It's a mid carry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's dudes taking like fucking half-court running starts.
Yeah, but these guys are 7 feet tall who can travel 30 feet in 2 steps.
But then, like, guys get knocked over, and they're like, oh, that's a foul. And you're like, well, nothing
I have no idea
happened.
what a foul is anymore.
It's like, that guy was just there. And then other times, it's like a guy will be running and run into a guy, and they're like, that's a foul on you. And then other times, there's a foul on that guy.
Because their feet are planted.
It fucking, I don't know. I got no time for it. Fucking let him drop the gloves.
Yeah.
But no, that Jordan showcase was so good.
Yeah. I believe it.
I probably believe it. I don't know.
I know Michael Jordan.
They did the flu
really
game
good at basketball.
where you still had to put up 62 points while he had the flu. And then they did the one where like he got the 6 3-pointers in the first half and then does the shoulder shrug.
But was he like shitty in that game?
They reduced all his stats.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, I mean, at the end of the day, if you had a well-known video game developer and publisher, and you were marketing this as, they'd probably at this point have to team up with TNA and Ring of Honor just to have some name recognition to it.
Impact Wrestling.
And call it whatever, fuck off. And call it like Super Indies Xbox One Special Edition thing or something. I don't know.
That's the shittiest name for a game I've ever heard.
And
I'm not buying it.
But if WWE can do it with their, there's 100 and something people on the 2K roster that are all getting royalty checks from this game because they signed on to do it. I mean, obviously, the fuck are you doing?
I'm just playing with stuff.
Obviously, I'm sure that John Cena is getting much more royalties than fucking Johnny Gargano.
Akira Tozawa.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was by plays. Imagine if they were tracking all that shit.
That'd be awesome.
Like who you use the most.
I would just be like Zack Ryder sitting at home just...
Like when Nelly went bankrupt and they're like, listen to me on Spotify. If like wrestlers are just like, play as me in 2K, please.
But yeah, like, I mean, if you had like, say, a roster of like, we'll say 40 to 50 of the top independent stars right now, and you had a publisher that could figure out, the I'm assuming very simple logistics of who gets what for royalties, I don't see why it couldn't be done.
Even if you just did it where the guys that are signed on to a brand.
Yeah,
like the guys that have a contract with a brand.
Like we don't, I mean, Impact is now owned by Anthem. It's a completely different owner from when they released the TNA game back on the 360. Why are we not going to, if their brand is getting so much better, are they considering making another game? Are they considering, partnering up with a studio to not release a shitty game? Like, I think an Impact game could be a lot of fun. I think a Lucha Underground game could be a lot of fun.
Lucha Underground game would
be... If they did it like a fighting style game, I think they would make so much money.
Do it like that pseudo AKI engine that was used for like Def Jam Vendetta.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Def Jam Fight for New York. That game.
Like you could easily. I mean, it was so clearly based off of the No Mercy engine. Like it was probably licensed right from them, as because I played that game and went, oh, this is No Mercy. Like it plays the same fucking way instead of always being in a ring. Sometimes it's just like a street fight. Like you're literally on a street and you're whatever. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity, and with Fire Pro doing a collaboration with New Japan, I think that we're finally maybe reaching the era for professional wrestling video games where WWE isn't the only game in town anymore, where we're going to start seeing other wrestling video games. I know Chikara's been working on their own game for years at this point.
That would be awesome.
Whether it's good or not, waits to be seen. It's got a kind of a cool like comic book cell shaded art style, which obviously with Chikara,
I like that. Makes sense.
But at the same time, what kind of licensing are we gonna get? Because a lot of Chikara's performers, they do get a lot of indie stars in there. They have a core roster of indie stars in masks, and technically, I'm assuming Chikara owns those characters, because I think it's Green Ant has been like 3 or 4 different people.
Yep. It was Tracy for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so they because at that point, I mean, I'm hoping they would pay the performers who are currently performing as those characters. Obviously with like like Solo Darling, she doesn't wear a mask, so they'd have to probably get her likeness rights to use her in the game.
Oh man! If they put Officer Magnum in the game,
I'd have like in a death match. Bork, put him through a table. I don't know. I feel like
I want to see Dick Justice in a video game.
Is the Colony in 2K? Can you download them?
I don't know.
Probably.
I'm gonna find that out.
Chikara is big enough where I feel like a lot of their top stars are probably available.
I mean, what's it called? Doom Patrol is in 2K.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, Evolve is one of the top independent.
That's true.
You know,
they're semi-owned by WWE now.
So, I mean, which technically means that, you know, Dickinson is almost a WWE employee.
Yeah. But you know what's more important about that? Stokely is almost a WWE employee.
Stoke, man. I'm gonna see if we got a Stokely Hathaway download.
Oh man,
I would download him.
Yeah,
just give him Eric
Can you
Bischoff's
download
like
managers?
ninja.
Oh, you give me the Paisley pants.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna go play video games. Fuck y'all.
Is it because we kept talking about them and now you want to?
No, it's because I actually really have to pee, so we should end the
so do
episode
I.
so I don't have to pee during the episode again.
Peeing during episodes. This was.
It only happened that one time.
This was a
And I
very
still bring it
mixed
up all the
match.
time.
This was half talking about wrestling, half talking about wrestling video games.
Well, that's what you want to do.
It's exactly what we did.
And this was all just Jert's way of like getting people
Marketing.
to listen to his
I'm actually paid by 2K now.
other nerd ass
Guerrilla
shit.
marketing. He's firing squatting the Blade Shop show.
I'm trying to get someone to make a wrestling video game that isn't 2K right now, because for 2 years they've released shit, and I'm really hoping that 2K19's not going
They
to
were
suck.
fine.
I think Global Indie Showcase would be a sweet name for a.
How long you been thinking
independent-
about that? Since I said
since you were thinking of the name.
360 super.
Yeah. As soon as you said it, I was like Global Indie Showcase.
John's name is better.
You know what?
Yes.
Go fuck yourself.
Okay.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Later.
My name is Paul Heyman. No, it's Jert.
No, he hasn't responded on Twitter yet.